Hello and welcome to episode 87 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Brian.
You guys drinking beer, talk what's going on. Got Ray with us again.
Yep.
Yeah, and we are going to discuss what the hell happened today and what that means.
Did you click on Facebook Live?
I think I did. Oh, I thought I did.
Doesn't say started yet.
Well, that sucks. I clicked go live like 3 times. You have been temporarily blocked from performing this action. Oh, nice. We are not allowed to go live on Facebook anymore.
We're off to a roaring start.
I actually didn't even publish that last one. I was like, nope. It's like, nope. I'm not putting that up.
I did.
I know you did.
The wife was not happy with our title choice.
Well, I thought I was going to do Victoria's other secret.
No, she said we couldn't do that.
No, Victoria's other secret was fine. You know, Victoria's extra chromosome. Anyway,
that's not what we're here for.
I was wrong. Putin actually did something. I thought this was all a bunch of bolster and it was going to be huff and puff to try to like get people over this COVID crap.
Yep.
Looks like he took over a bunch of Ukraine real quick. But only a couple hundred had to die, I think, so far, right?
Yeah.
Well,
he's not meeting a whole lot of resistance as of yet, I don't think.
I get that, but like you had like these rebel-backed areas. Wouldn't you have your military forces ready near the border where these rebels are if you're going to try to maintain your national integrity?
You would think that.
Well, it just seems everything seems so weird. And granted, it was well coordinated, and he came in sea, air, and land with an amphibious assault in Crimea. I don't know. Like, do you think they're going to try to take the entire nation?
No, I think he can. I think it'd be another Afghanistan if you try to take the entire nation.
They've had it before several times.
Yeah, different political climate then.
True. This is funny as I got into a conversation with someone at work about historic lands or whatever. And I intentionally brought up the Native Americans and, you know, the historic lands. And then, but he's like super left wing and he was going nuts about Russia going into Ukraine. And I was like, Kiev used to be the capital of Russia. It's like, so let's talk about historic lands here, you know? But I don't know. You think he'll actually get resistance from Ukraine if he tries to just push through and take the whole thing?
He'll get some resistance. Well, they're actually handing out guns to anybody that wants one now.
Yeah, I saw that. Jeez Louise. Talk about desperate, though.
Well, that's what happened. You don't, especially I don't even know, like, you got any training on the gun? Like, no. Or air, anyways.
That's what I was going to take apart your nuclear weapons and rely on someone else to protect you.
Yeah. Even the United States.
That's what they did.
But yeah, Putin also threatened repercussions the world has never seen if anyone's trying to stop him.
Yeah, or get involved at all, you know.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't know. Does that mean like some of these crazy new nuclear weapons, or
you're gonna raise the oil price on oil?
Well, they're making them a lot of money by having the oil prices so high right now.
Yeah,
oil's over $100 a barrel right now.
Yeah, I'm cashing in all my gas points tomorrow and filling up everything. I don't know. I was thinking about this a lot today, and I was wondering what a modern war would look like. And there's been some artillery, some shelling, but for the most part, these guys just kind of walked in and took over.
Mm-hmm.
I can open my garage door. I can turn my thermostat on from a different state with my cell phone. Why wouldn't warfare look like that? Opening valves, closing valves. Shoot, close the valves on someone's hot water heater with a computer and then turn the gas up and blow up the hot water heater. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why? This seems like a better way to target what you're trying to do, I would think, versus lobbing a shell over a wall, you know? I don't know. Has no one else thought about how easy it would be to weaponize all of this actual technology that we rely on every day?
Oh
Well-
yeah, that's why I don't have a lot of technology in my house.
Putin already got a list of all the essential key components in the United States.
Yeah, there's
You
been
never
how many
give the
reports?
list?
There's been how
No.
many reports about
You-
the electrical grid? There's like 3 or 4 spots that you have to hit to take down the
know-
entire grid in the nation.
You know how Putin got the list?
Probably got it from Biden when
Yep. He got it from Biden himself. He's like, here's the list, don't attack this. Like, sure, I'm not gonna attack them.
oh, so that's like the off limits stuff they used to tell us
Yeah.
right before Liberty Call.
Yeah, those were the good times.
Yeah, don't go to this place or this place. Thank you.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I don't see shore patrol, do you?
Hey, talk about good time. You heard the last news I sent you about Tinder?
Oh, sorry, I missed that. I was coughing.
You didn't hear about, you get to see the last message I sent about Tinder?
Yeah, I did actually. I meant to put it in here.
They wanna invade now, they wanna plunder to the woman. Like, hey, you wanna match?
Well, at least they're going through Tinder and trying to hook up with these women
They-
locally
they
versus
do.
what that would have been 100 years ago, been raping and pillaging, right?
Uh-huh.
At least they're looking for consent. You know what I mean? We're evolving at least a little bit, even if it's slowly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I read that.
I
I
was
just
like-
laughed so hard. I was like, I can't
I was like,
imagine
no
being
way.
imagine being the invading force. Be like, hey, let's hook up with the locals. And their stock market took a giant dump, but that's all I'm seeing everywhere is, oh, the Russian stock market took a dump. Did any of you guys open up your portfolio today?
So did the U.S.
Nah.
stock market.
I was like, oh no. Yeah, I don't know where to put my money right now because of this. Like, do we think this is gonna be a long, drawn out war, or are they just gonna take over Ukraine?
I don't know, but they're not getting the Nord Stream 2 pipeline anymore.
They keep saying that it's been built. All they have to do is open the valve. I don't want to go, we'll stop them. What are you gonna do? Like, are they gonna blow it up?
Then what are you gonna do with Germany? That depends on this line now.
The Germans don't want to shut down. The Germans need gas.
Yeah.
It would be
Yeah.
interesting though to watch a world war break out and have Germans fighting with the English and Americans instead of against.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying if this turns into an actual conflict and nations get involved and there's actually a fight, I would want to take my money out of almost everything except for like Raytheon and like Lockheed Martin, like weapons manufacturers. No one else sees the strategy as an opportunity to make money.
Yeah, but it's too expensive for me.
Well, I bought a
Yeah,
bunch
like
of
the-
crypto again today because it took another big spill. I was like, I'm gonna buy some more.
Yeah, unless the split it, I need to keep an eye on the market. I always look for a split on the split. And then that's when I buy something.
Tomorrow I'm probably picking up a bunch of silver. But I'm basically getting rid of every US dollar I can right now. I don't trust it, especially with all that's gonna happen.
We need more money. We need more money. Let's print more.
Yeah, that's great. Except every time they print a new one, mine's worth a little bit less.
Yeah.
But Finland was talking about joining NATO. But they've been putting it off because Russia wasn't right next to them.
Now it
This-
is.
This will put them right there if they take all of Ukraine. But didn't Putin say something about he didn't want NATO to come any further east, basically to Ukraine, because he didn't want to, he needed a buffer
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah,
Well, wouldn't taking Ukraine eliminate that buffer zone and put you against
Sure.
NATO?
I sure would.
I don't seem to understand what's happening here.
Well, the Russians, the troops are attacking Ukraine from 3 different sides.
Yes, they came up through the Crimean Peninsula, right? They came down through Belarus, I think. And well, actually, yeah, basically north, south, and east. Did you see that they took the Chernobyl restricted area?
Yeah, I don't know
Why?
what the point is of that. Yeah, it makes no sense.
The only thing I can see that would make any sense about that is it might be a quicker transport line to get to the capital, to get to Kiev. But there's a very trained crew of people that work there that keep that
It's all
place
shut
safe.
down now.
Yes, but there's a maintenance team that
Okay.
makes sure everything's safe because it's encased in concrete.
Yeah,
There's a team that's make sure it's everything's safe. They've taken these guys hostages.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be marching right past the what 1986, I think it was, meltdown.
yeah, something like that.
Because I'm pretty sure the half-life of uranium is more than 37 years. You know?
Just a little bit.
I don't know, man. Like, do you see this turning into an actual war in Europe?
Yes.
Or yeah, you think there's actually going to be a war and not just like a 3-day conflict and then Russia's going to have Ukraine?
Yeah, because I think the Ukrainians are going to put up a fight. They're going to go trench warfare, jungle warfare. It's going to be another Afghanistan all over again.
There's not a whole lot of jungle in Crimea, Ukraine.
Well, you know what I mean.
Oh, maybe farm. Hey, what's up, Claire?
Hey,
There is some farmland out there. Speaking
Yeah,
of,
the southern part.
who's that dumbass Alabama Republican congressman? Never mind. I've already forgot about it anyway. The guy said something about how Russia's taken Ukraine for the farmland because they can't feed their people. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
yeah, it is. It's natural resources and a warm water port, most likely.
Well, they already have a warm water port when they took Crimea.
Well, this is a bigger one.
True, more access. That and more than once, Putin has said something that about like the worst thing to happen in the 20th century was the dissolution of the Soviet Republic.
Yeah, he lost a lot of satellite states. Well, Russia did lose a lot of its satellite states and its buffer zone between NATO and Russia.
There was
Another-
no, huh?
Now they're getting rid of the buffer zone on their own.
True, but there was no NATO before the Soviet Union fell, I thought.
I thought it was in a reaction to.
Yeah,
No,
all right.
NATO was before the Soviet Union broke up.
Okay,
NATO's
I
been
thought it
around
formed.
since in the 70s, I think.
My mistake. I thought it formed in reaction to it falling apart, saying we can't let that happen again.
No, it formed. It expanded because of that. There was a NATO expansion that happened because of
Which
that.
is hilarious because how is NATO any different than the USSR? Except each individual nation gets a little more say in what happens instead of one guy gets most of the say, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, NATO is also just a military alliance. It's not like the European Union that's a big union of economies and everything else. NATO is
Yeah.
strictly military related.
See, that's what I'm worried about is all these unions and alliances and yada, 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 yada. Isn't that how we got into 2 different world wars already?
yeah,
Like
I know.
everyone was married to someone's cousin and everyone had to go to war because some some jerk in some place no one's ever heard of got shot with an umbrella gun.
Yeah, okay, here's something scary for you. Russia's spending on its military is about 60 billion or something. It's quite substantial for the size of its GDP. The only way it stands a chance in a war with NATO is to actually use nukes and target military bases and everything like that. And these guys do have ICBMs and a bigger nuclear stockpile than we do.
Not just that, they got MIRVs.
Yeah,
Was it a multiple targeted re-entry vehicle or something like that?
yeah. And they can carry up to, I believe it's like 12.
Yeah, a dozen. Yeah, have you ever heard of these things, Brian?
No.
It's an ICBM. You know, they launch it up into orbit, and it comes down and it splits apart, and up to 12 different warheads can be deployed to different locations. So like you could launch one basically DC and pepper the entire East Coast and hit key places down the East Coast.
Huh.
With nuclear, and this thing is nuclear capable in each warhead. The Russians have had this since what, the early or mid 80s, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a
we have-
terrifying weapon.
It is. It really is. And these things are, and this Russia knows this is the only way it can really win. I mean, China itself is not fully standardized and modernized. Their plan was going to run out into 2040 before they became a quote world-class military. So if
Yeah.
China and Russia decide to go up against America and the rest of NATO, they don't stand a chance unless they pull something big.
Nah, not necessarily. China, it depends on how China fought a war. There's what, 2 billion people in China?
Mhm.
Well, China started some incursions into Taiwan now too.
Well, they're obviously biding their time to see what happens. Russia's got their toe in the water. Actually, no, Russia did a cannonball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And China's like, is it cold?
But yeah, this could get really ugly really quick. And I don't think people realize this. Like I was talking to my dad and I'm like, he's already threatened to retaliate and he's pretty much
He threatened a
insinuating.
preemptive strike if he thought something was going to happen.
Yep. And honestly, the best thing that we could probably do as a nation right now is with his posturing is launch those stealth bombers right now and just call it an exercise until we hit them and hit them hard with
How many-
everything we've got.
How many boomers you think we got sitting off of Russia?
Probably all 20.
Yeah, like right up there in the what is that, the I want to say Black Sea, but it's not, is it?
There's the Black Sea.
It's the Black Sea.
It is the Black Sea. All right.
The Caspian is the one I believe that doesn't have access to the rest of the ocean.
Yeah, which is wicked weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm usually pretty good with my geography, but Eastern Europe is such a mess, and lines get redrawn every couple of years, you know?
Yeah.
As in today.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, Ukraine, there's no such thing. But yeah, I don't think anyone realizes, well, I say that, everyone. I don't think most people realize how delicate the whole thing over there is in general in
Right.
Eastern Europe. They were all part of the Soviet Union at one point. And, some of them like Uzbekistan is still Russian friendly. Is it Belarus or Belarus?
Belarus. They're Russian
Belarus a different
friendly.
country? Am I just mispronouncing it?
You're mispronouncing it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I went to high school with a foreign exchange student who's really good friends of mine. He's actually from there.
Hey, no. I try not to make fun of people for mispronouncing a word like that because it usually means that they learned it by reading it. It's like, oh, I wasn't reading.
Yeah, no. And guy couldn't swim. Fun fact. But
And you joined the Navy.
no, he couldn't swim.
Oh, okay.
Of course I can swim. What are you talking about? But yeah, I don't think like common America fully understands like the gravity of this situation if it goes south.
I got a strange feeling that the entire world is going to watch this happen and do nothing about it, just like the Crimean Peninsula.
Or Austria.
Yeah. Or Poland being invaded by Germany. Everyone just,
Oh, I mean, come on, Austria too. That was a better reference.
I know,
I
but
think isn't Poland part of NATO though?
Poland is part of NATO. I believe Belarus is even part of NATO.
I doubt that. Belarus let Russians march right through their country to get into Ukraine, I believe. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they came right up next to the border. My mistake. I was looking at my live maps thing. That's 8 hours
Belarus
old.
joined the North Atlantic Cooperation Council.
That's not NATO.
Yeah, no, it's not part of NATO.
Because I'm pretty sure right now nobody bordering Russia is NATO, right?
No.
Poland is.
Are they?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Trying to picture the map in my head.
Just go to,
Look at your live maps.
yeah, go to Google Map, you can look at it.
Poland. That's the problem, though, is that entire area. It gets conquered one more time. You know, what's the difference, right?
It's just like Africa. Always redrawing maps.
Well,
They like to rename their countries a lot over there too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're not really, they always copy each other's name.
What, wasn't Zimbabwe a thing when we were all young?
Zimbabwe, I believe, still exists.
Yeah. so,
They just changed their currency system.
Okay.
uh,
Rhodesia.
What's this about Sean Penn?
Well, he is in Ukraine with the documentary camera crew team.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this
Please
is
let
good.
us strangle rid us of him forever. Please.
He
let us
wants to,
strangle him.
he wants to make sure that the story of the Ukrainians is told.
Oh,
Fuck that
well,
guy.
he wants socialism to go out, you know, there you go.
My young lady I work with hadn't heard about any of this stuff, and I asked her what she thought about feminism, and she got all like butthurt at me because apparently I've been accused of not being very nice to women at work.
No, you.
But
never.
she's not okay with drafting now?
Something about a sandwich.
A Kennedy sandwich?
Anyway,
Not a Kennedy sandwich, right?
no. She just wouldn't make me a sandwich. Yeah, she was like, "Oh, super pro feminist, or whatever," and I was like, "Cool. So, you're ready to go fight in World War III now?" She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna get drafted."
Oh, you got that sandwich real quick, I guarantee you.
You know, it's exactly. She's like, "Women don't go to war, men do." I was like, "Oh, if you want to vote." Well, my camera went way out of focus, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a neat trick, huh?
I thought there was alcohol involved.
Huh?
Alcohol.
There's always alcohol involved. But if China's watching carefully because I don't know what they're gonna do.
They're opportunists. I think if this goes south, China's going to take full advantage of it.
Yes, but they're making a ton of money off of selling stuff to Americans. And if we stop doing trade with them over something like this, that would not help them at all.
We can't afford to stop it ourselves either.
I know. We're the world's leading companies on the United States for semiconductors, but you know where all the semiconductors actually are?
China.
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Well, so are chips and stuff. Like a lot of our tech comes out of there,
Yeah.
like silicone chips.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're having car shortages now because we can't get our hands on these supplies. And a war, even if it's just Russia and Ukraine, even if it only lasts a week, is going to fuck up the supply chain real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fallout. Who's not doing business with who? Who's you know what I mean? And Biden's bluff already got called. So what's he gonna do now?
His line in the sand.
Line in the sand. His line. Oh my god! Did you see what sanctions he put on after this thing started?
He said they couldn't use the Nord Stream pipeline.
He put all the stuff back on that Trump had put in place that he had taken off when he took office.
Yeah, it's just
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like maybe we should have left it in place.
let's just say that his dick's probably not the only thing flaccid about him.
I don't. Okay. You seem to know far too much about flaccid penis. The look on the wife's face. It's okay. It's the tranny saying something about flaccid dick. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I can make a joke like that when someone's in the room to like laugh with it. That's why I didn't publish that last episode. It's like that wasn't fair. It was just low hanging fruit, you know.
I got a lot of listens.
I bet you did. That one actually probably got shared too. Facebook wouldn't let us live publish this one after the last one. She's like, good.
It might be the way it might have been an operator error on your part too, though.
It could have, but it said we're temporarily not allowed to do it. And I was like, oh, I might have to check my notifications and see what happened. Clay, you missed something we were talking about earlier. Sorry to jump back on this, but what do you think is going to happen in terms of the economics of this, where the money's going to go somewhere? It doesn't disappear. Where do you think it's going to end up? Is it going to end up in like the weapons manufacturers' pockets? Is it going to end up in crypto wallets? Is it going to end up in chests full of silver and gold?
I think it all depends, because if this is another world war, we're going to have probably more than likely another shift into, and the only strength that we would have in this situation besides our technology, and that's full industrial shift into a total war economy. And from there, the money is going to end up in places like GM, Ford,
Rolls-Royce, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin.
Yep. It's going to end up in these companies that
Northrop Grumman, dear God.
Yeah. And it's also going to trickle down to people. And honestly, I think Biden probably is pressing it to get us out of the situation he's put us in.
Well, the problem is wars cause a boom in the economy, but that only lasts until the war ends.
Oh, I understand that.
You know?
He's probably not going to live to see that end of the war. I mean, the guy's how old now?
I don't know. He's older than I am, and that's significant anyway. Guys, I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to decide what to do with my money right now, and I don't know if I should be buying silver, stock in weapons manufacturers, or what. And I don't know if what weapon manufacturers I would go with, honestly, because the United States makes some great weapons, but like we on this show we've talked several times about these reports coming out that our military is not ready to fight a war. We've been too busy doing all this DEI crap, you know, and you know, and letting the dude take a dump in the ladies' restroom because he wants to. Not picking on you, Claire, but you knew the rules when you were enlisted too, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that was going on before you came out and told everyone, by the way, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was more to it.
The funny part about me telling everyone was most of the guys I know were like, yeah, so, okay, we kind of figured.
Yeah. You were kind of fruity. Yeah, I don't know if I should have a chest full of silver coins or what. Huh?
Ammo. Get ammo.
I put that on Facebook today. I was like, pack your bug out bag and stock up on ammo. Well, okay, you listen to Tim Pool.
Yes.
I mentioned this earlier about how modern warfare might be me going on my cell phone and closing a valve on either side of your hot water heater and then turning up the gas on your hot water heater to blow it up inside your house. Similar to what he was talking about, but like if someone, for example, if Russia's got this weapons factory and we can go in and hack their equipment and blow the factory up from the inside and not even have to fly over.
Yeah.
what if this is the new warfare? What if this is going to be blowing up factories and blowing up houses of prominent officials, like an assassination style thing?
I don't think America is that in depth into cyber warfare, to tell you the truth.
I believe Russia might be, and China absolutely is.
Oh, yeah, but
We're not
Don't
prepared for this
Russia-
attack.
I don't believe Russia is that level. They still focus on a very more traditional military. China's definitely on that level, though.
That scares me more. If they can just shut off my power steering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I'm driving down the road, which power steering wasn't the best example because when you're going fast, you don't need a whole lot of energy to steer. But yeah, disable your brakes or whatever in your vehicle or something, you know? You can do all of this. I can do my laundry from another state on my cell phone. Imagine if I had a supercomputer.
So who puts the laundry in the washing machine?
Usually depends on whose laundry it is.
Well, does
But-
the app do it for you?
No, I that is the thing, but sometimes you want to wash them twice, like the disgusting dog peed on stuff. And the thing measures out soap for me. I put soap in a train, I put it back in. I don't have to put soap in my washer anymore. I throw my laundry and hit a button and it adds soap itself. It weighs it and spins it and weighs it. This modern tech has become so convenient that we've become absolutely dependent upon it. I mean, just this stupid thing we're doing here.
Yeah.
This never could have happened 30 years ago. We never would have been able to have this conversation like this. And what if they can just take it away from us? You know, this is the new pub. This is the new bar. You know, revolutions happen in chat rooms, not pubs anymore, or begin.
Yeah, but you're still going to need at some point boots on the ground, and
Biden's refusing that.
Then how can you possibly win a war, right?
is he refusing that, or is he just placating to the? Because here's what's going to happen: if Biden refuses it, he's going to do something to aggravate Russia. If Russia declares war, we have to put boots on the ground anyway.
I don't think Russia is going to declare war unless I say that. I was wrong about them invading. I honestly thought this wasn't going to happen.
I mean, they're talking about kicking Russia from SWIFT right now.
Yeah, so what?
That shuts off all their foreign trade, which
Not
they're
really.
dependent on.
Not really. They bought it.
Shuts off the
China.
international banking
Yeah, they still
system.
got China.
Yeah, and China's right there. And that's like a third of the world's
40%.
economy anyway.
40% of their GDP goes through oil that they sell to Europe. If you shut off SWIFT,
They
somebody's
can't
going to
sell
have
the
to.
oil.
They
Yep.
can't sell the oil, and Europe doesn't get the oil to fuel their war machine.
Well, European Union. Oh, sorry.
If they're at
no,
war,
British.
if they're going to be at war, if Russia's not going to be pumping fuel to them to power their tanks, you know?
Yes, this is true.
Am I the only one this occurred to? We won't buy your
Hey.
shit. I'm going to kill you anyway.
I'm just going off of what the suggestions that are on the table currently at the moment.
Right
I
now, what we need to do, stop China to like trading with them because they're fueling money to Russia for this stuff.
That's why I think that's exactly why I think China is going to do what is going to do something, is because I hate making these references, but Poland is invaded by Germany in what, 1943 was it? 42?
No,
42, 41, something like that.
it was I think it was 39.
No, I thought it was all right. I thought it was the 40s, maybe it was 40. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that whole thing started, and everyone kind of looked the other way while that happened. And then it got out of control, and the United States is, I'm not getting involved. It's way over there, right?
October 6th, 1939. I called
39.
it.
My mistake.
Well, you know how.
Well, what I'm worried about is Japan was concerned that because we were selling weapons to their enemies and attacked Pearl Harbor, what if China sees the same opportunity to beat Japan and bomb not Pearl Harbor, but Norfolk. And I know that sounds weird, but we keep how many aircraft carriers at Norfolk? At typically at a time is at least 3.
Oh, fact check. It was September 1st. It wasn't. Germany and the Soviet Union signed on October 6th, dividing Poland.
Yeah, Ray
September
mentioned
1st.
that. Ray mentioned that earlier, how Putin wants to get rid of this Nazism in Ukraine. Did anyone point out that Russia was initially on the side of the Nazis when the war started?
No, nobody ever does.
Nobody brought that up.
But honestly, look at it from his point of view. He went from a very pro-Russian government in the Ukraine, to
And then we deposed that guy and put our guy in.
yep. So from their point of view, that government's illegitimate, and I'm not going to try to defend Russia. I'm just saying that from their point of view, they're morally in the right.
I'll play devil's advocate for you here.
Okay.
They also had an agreement when NATO got formed that NATO would only come so close to Russia. And now they're talking about making Ukraine NATO and even, all these other places. Excuse me. Last year, Putin came to the table with NATO with discussions about how we can move on peacefully and not have an issue, and wrote a letter and handed it. Putin himself didn't hand it, but it was handed to the United States. I want to say Beto, but I don't think he was the guy that did that. Someone can look this up if they want. I'm sure you can find something about this letter, but it's a way to move on peacefully. And instead of saying, "Oh, well, these are valid arguments," or at least we'll discuss it, they basically said "fuck you" and laughed at him.
Well, I mean, if it was handed off to Beto, it probably got lost on the border. So,
or is way up his butt somewhere. That's how he tried to get it across the border, and
yeah, God.
Lemmy Winks took it away.
Stuffed it.
Lemmy Winks took it away.
It up there, so.
Well, that's why he needed a gerbil to bring it up as far as it could. That's the new Fauci experiment.
They're calling it the gear.
Well, I think that's basically it. I just wanted to have an emergency. What the hell's going on?
You want to talk about the Biden administration, or you want to move that to Saturday?
Well, yeah, we can go right into that. That's along the same lines. I put that in there because there we go. He was talking about ending the national security initiative at stopping China because people were complaining about bias.
Right.
We all just said China's going to move on Taiwan, and I bet they do something horrible to Hong Kong too.
Well, they already have. I mean, Hong Kong ain't Hong Kong anymore.
No, and can we even call Tibet anymore?
No.
I'm not that old. I've seen the map change a lot of times in my life.
Well, Putin's not getting a lot of people are protesting in Russia right now. This invasion.
Yeah, well, there's a couple thousand people at the capital in Moscow.
Yeah, thousands of it, and 1,000 got arrested already.
Wait until their truckers come.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to think. I wish I had more info from what the Russian people thought about this.
Well, okay, all of this we couldn't believe it from the mass media because they're the ones that sold us the weapons of mass destruction in Iran and Iraq.
Thing is, I've got some pretty reliable news from Russian television.
Yeah, but
RT News.
But that's why we couldn't believe the media because they've been lying to us all this time about this, and that,
Oh yeah, especially the American M5M is they're carrying major water for Biden.
Yeah, so it's like, we're not gonna go trying to instigate this fight. We don't know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. I know what is gonna happen. Could be just an exercise to see what he could get away with and just leave.
Well,
we don't even know what. Just like you said before, what did he attack? We don't know what the hell he just bombed.
Yeah. I don't know. Here we go. if the United States got into a hot conflict with Russia, do you think there's a way for it to end without nuclear end?
Fallout. Just
No.
tell China to stop. If not, we're gonna, you know.
I think
we
once
gotta-
either side, got to the point that they knew they could not possibly win this war, they would nuke the other one.
Yeah, that's probably what the given outcome is going to be.
Yeah, if we actually got into an actual war with Russia, I think once it got to the point where this war wasn't going to go on forever, one side would nuke the other. And then these guys do drills. They have 30 seconds once the alarm goes off to go hit the button to launch the nuke back at Russia. Because that was the life expectancy once the alarm goes off is 30 seconds. The guys actually sit there, you know, they're taking a dump and the alarm goes off. They got to run with a turd hanging out their ass butt naked. No, because you have about 30 seconds to live. You know?
Isn't that all been? I think that's all been automated now. I don't think there's actually men in the bunkers.
I believe there is because in the 80s, Russia almost nuked the United States over automatic protocols. And someone actually had to step up and stop it, and he ended up getting executed for it. And it was a Russian guy. He's like, no, I don't think they launched nukes. And he stopped it, which thank God, because that ended nuclear winter. But the warheads we have are, what, 1,000 times more powerful than 80 years ago?
Yeah. I mean, this,
We took out a city with a bomb 80 years ago. Imagine what we could do today.
yeah, this is,
What's even more terrifying, but I like it, is that we can actually deliver a much smaller payload to a more precise target. Like if you did want to take out Boston, which I don't know why you would bother wasting your time in modern time to hit Boston, but it is a shipping port. You don't have to necessarily kill 500,000 people to take out the shipping port in Boston with a nuclear weapon. You know what I mean? Like, just hit the seaport. You might kill a couple 100,000 people, but you're not going to kill people 8 miles away with
Right.
these
you
with some of
really-
these weapons.
do you really think that they're worried about that kind of fallout?
I don't think they're necessarily worried about collateral damage, but I think they realize that the rest of the world would respect it if you only took out key, realistically, military points. But if you're going to go past that, key facilities like shipping ports, the capital,
Yeah.
you know,
And honestly, with the state that our allies have become so dependent on us that we're going
Yes.
to be the first target. And once we're taken out, Putin probably knows that he would have clean sailing from there. That's why I'm hoping that this doesn't turn into a hot conflict. But at the same point, from the geopolitical stance, that means Iran and China are most likely going to press any advantage they can because they know that our president will roll over like a lapdog.
oh, you know, it's a little scary. What about North Korea?
Oh, they would take their chance to bomb Japan back into the
South
Stone Age.
Korea, take over South Korea. Hey,
Yeah.
that land belong to us.
Vietnam? Not even that. What if North Korea just said, hey, this is our chance, sailed up a shipping container and detonated a nuclear weapon next to New York City? While we're busy trying to figure out what's going on with Russia and China. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's easy to hide in that fog of war. You don't necessarily need an ICBM to deliver a nuclear warhead.
yeah, this just, there's so much that can go wrong right now. And
Actually, it's to point out that you don't need an ICBM to deliver a nuclear payload. The only two ever deployed were gravity fed. We dropped them out of a plane and they fell to the ground. All right, well, I guess that's it, unless you guys got something else you want to talk about.
Yeah, just watching videos.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
right.
Yeah, it seemed like a big deal. I wanted to talk about it, you know.
yeah,
I don't know what this means. Oh, I meant to play this here earlier. The guy who's supposed to get us out of this problem.
True internet suffered the pressure.
That's always good.
Al Sharpton.
I keep meaning to get some of his stuff.
Andrew and Chief.
Well, I guess that's it. We will come back with more on. We will be back Saturday, and I know we missed Tuesday. I was tempted to pretend like we knew this was going to happen, and that's why we held off.
There you go.
We did know that this was gonna happen. Come on.
Well, in the predictions page, Brian did predict World War III if Russia invaded Ukraine, and Russia has invaded Ukraine. So let's hope Brian is wrong with his predictions.
Definitely.
All right. Well, all you out there, you guys keep it sexy. And I guess that's our shit.
You got all the controls.
Cut it. Yeah, I have no idea how to stop any of this. I can end meeting, but does that mean everyone leaves? I said stop
Yeah.
recording, huh?
Yeah, just stop recording.
You got his
Sorry
own
about
too.